Why do smart people, the ones we admire, often make shockingly bad financial decisions? Why does making money seem so much easier than keeping it? These aren't rhetorical questions. They are core paradoxes in the world of finance, paradoxes that Morgan Housel unpacks in his classic book, The Psychology of Money. His answer is simple, yet profound. Managing money isn't a test of intelligence, it's a test of psychology. It doesn't happen on a spreadsheet. It happens in your mind, where fear, greed, ego, and the stories we tell ourselves take control. In the next few minutes, we won't be talking about stock tips or get-rich-quick tricks. Instead, we'll dive into 6 core psychological principles from this book, principles that can help you build lasting wealth and, more importantly, find peace along the way. Lesson 1, and perhaps the most foundational: no one's crazy. The concept. Have you ever looked at how someone spends their money and thought, what on earth are they thinking? A friend buys a luxury car on a modest salary. A relative puts all their savings into crypto. From our perspective, those choices seem irrational. But the truth is, no one's crazy. Every financial decision is made through the lens of that person's unique life experiences. Someone who grew up during a financial crisis may treat money as ultimate security. Someone raised in uncertainty might live by the philosophy of enjoy today. The guidance. Stop comparing your financial journey to anyone else's. Instead of asking, what are my friends investing in? Ask yourself, what money game am I playing? What are my goals? What level of risk helps me sleep well at night? The benefit. When you stop playing someone else's game, you break free from toxic comparison. You start making choices aligned with your own life, values, and reality, not some borrowed blueprint. That's the first step to regaining control. And once we understand that, we arrive at the second lesson, a humbling truth. Luck and risk are 2 sides of the same coin. The concept. We love to celebrate the success of people like Bill Gates as pure genius. And yes, genius played a part, but so did luck. Morgan Housel points out that Gates happened to attend one of the only high schools in the world with a computer in 1968. That's a 1 in a million stroke of luck. But here's the lesser-known story. Kent Evans, Gates's close friend, was equally smart and passionate. He might have co-founded Microsoft, but he died in a mountain climbing accident before graduation. Same starting point. One experienced extraordinary luck, the other devastating risk. The guidance. Shift how you view success and failure. When you succeed, say, I worked hard and I got a little lucky. When you see someone fail, don't judge. Think, that could have been me in a different scenario. The benefit? This mindset builds humility and compassion. Humility keeps you grounded and prepared for setbacks. Compassion keeps you from judging others and helps you respect the resilience behind survival. In money, survival matters far more than short bursts of success. This humility brings us to the third lesson, a concept that runs counter to modern culture. Never lose sight of enough. The concept. Our society runs on the engine of more. More money, more power, more fame. But financial disasters often don't come from having too little. They come from constantly shifting goalposts. People start gambling what they already have and need, just to chase what they don't have and likely don't need. The guidance. This isn't about killing ambition. It's about defining your own finish line. Take the time to write it down. What does a life that feels enough look like to you? Enough money to never stress over bills? Enough time for your family? Enough freedom to pursue a passion? Be specific. The benefit? Once you define enough, you change the entire game. You stop running an endless race and start playing a game you can actually win. Enough isn't a limit, it's a milestone of freedom. It frees you from the pressure to constantly prove yourself to the world. Once you understand what enough means, you'll see the truth behind the fourth lesson. Wealth is what you don't see. The concept. Social media shows us luxury cars, expensive watches, and lavish vacations. We mistake those things for wealth, but as Housel points out, that's not wealth, that's spending. Real wealth, or wealth, is the money you don't spend. It's the investments growing quietly, the emergency fund sitting untouched, the money that gives you options. The guidance. Shift your priorities. Instead of increasing spending to show status, focus on widening the gap between your income and expenses. Every dollar you save and invest isn't stinginess, it's a brick in the fortress of your financial freedom. The benefit? This mindset brings a surprising peace. You no longer feel pressure to keep up. You start defining success by the freedom and choices you have, not by the things you own. Real wealth is the ability to say no. This brings us to an important distinction in the fifth lesson: getting rich versus staying rich. These are two completely different skills. The concept? History is filled with stories of lottery winners and athletes who earned tens of millions and then went bankrupt. Why? Because the skills that take you to the top of the mountain aren't the same ones that keep you there. Getting rich often requires optimism and risk-taking, but staying rich demands humility and a healthy dose of skepticism. The guidance: embrace a defensive mindset. Build a margin of safety into your decisions. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Accept that the future is unpredictable, so preparation matters more than prediction. The benefit: sustainability. Financial success is a marathon, not a sprint. The goal isn't to hit the highest return in 1 year, it's to avoid getting knocked out of the game over decades. Endurance always beats short-term flashes of success. And finally, once you've internalized the previous principles, you arrive at the highest lesson, the ultimate goal of the money game. The highest form of wealth is freedom. The concept: we often think the purpose of money is to buy luxury, but its greatest value lies in buying back your time and your choices. Being rich isn't about owning a Ferrari. It's about waking up and saying, "Today, I can do whatever I want." The guidance: start viewing every financial decision through the lens of freedom. Every dollar you save isn't just a number, it's a piece of your future freedom. Every unnecessary debt you avoid is a chain you've broken. The benefit: this is the ultimate reward, total control over your own life. It's the peace that comes from knowing you're living by your values, not by someone else's expectations. In summary, the 6 lessons from the psychology of money don't just teach us about money, they teach us about ourselves. Money is merely a mirror, reflecting our fears, desires, and ego. You don't have to be the smartest person to win this game. You just have to be the most disciplined, the most patient, and the most self-aware. This journey isn't about having more, it's about living more peacefully and more freely. If these lessons shifted the way you think, hit like to support us and subscribe so you don't miss deeper insights in future videos. And share this video with someone you know, someone who might be stuck playing a money game that isn't really theirs. Thanks for watching.